The effects of population, government, and trade. That is what we're going to go over today. It's Coach Watt again. Let's get it started. So the effects of population growth, all right? It doesn't always lead to economic growth. Other things have to come after it in order for that to lead up to economic growth, all right? So let's just think. If the population grows while the supply of capital remains constant, the amount of capital per person will shrink. So quick example, if I have 10 students and 10 calculators, everything is good, we're working at 100%, right? What if I get 2 new students to come in? Now those 2 new students are lacking a calculator. I would have to exercise capital deepening and get 2 more calculators to supply to them so we can stay working at 100% productivity, right? Now if I don't do that, now those are going to be 2 students that get to see you guys work very fast and real productively with the calculator while they are without one, which will lower that standard of living, which is a problem, right? So again, that's how population growth can also hurt your economy if you don't go about it the right way. All right. In fact, some relatively poor countries such as Bangladesh have large labor forces but small capital stocks. So that means there's a lot of people working without the tools that they need to be ultra productive, which usually leads to being a problem. All right. Let's push forward. The effects of government. Government can affect capital formation in several ways. If the government raises taxes to pay for additional services or to finance a war, households will have less money. So the more they tax you, the less money you are going to be making, all right, or receiving. Now, if I'm making $4,000 per check and they raise my taxes, now that means more taxes are going to come out of my paycheck, meaning that I'm going home with less money in my pocket. So instead of going home with $4,000, now I'm going home with $3,500 because the rest of that money is going towards taxes, all right? People will reduce saving, thus reducing the money available to businesses for investment. So again, now that I'm making less money, if that money that I was making was how I survived, now I might have to dip into my savings more, right? And now I'm less likely to invest in those companies, and now the future of those companies are not looking as bright anymore because they don't have as much investment, they don't have as much stock of people buying their stocks, so now they don't have that much money to work with to send for research and development, right? So all this could trickle down and affect our economy. Really slowly, but it can happen, all right? The effects of foreign trade. Foreign trade can result in a trade deficit, a situation in which the value of goods a country imports is higher than the value of goods the country exports. All right, so that means that we're starting to depend on overseas countries more than we could depend on ourselves, right? Sometimes that's okay, sometimes it's not okay, all right? Sometimes that becomes an issue. If we get too dependent on something that we cannot control, that could be an issue, all right? Running a trade deficit may not seem like a wise practice, but if the imports consist of investment goods, the practice can foster capital deepening. So like most things in the world, it can be bad if using incorrectly, but sometimes it can be good, right? So a lot of times I would rather buy something from China and wait for the shipping to take longer rather than buy it here. Why? Because it's much cheaper and yet they still give me the same productivity, right? The only difference is one is domestic and one is foreign. But you just have to be smart. Investment goods are the structures and equipment purchased by businesses. All right. So investment goods is the stuff that you feel like is going to be an investment. Okay, you guys, goodbye. That's the bell. But now, all jokes aside, just like the school buying all these desks, right? Instead of it being a waste of money, it's technically an investment because we need you guys to have desks so you guys won't complain and say, hey, I don't want to write notes. I got to write it on my knee. You have a desk. You have a chair. All right. You have AC. Investment goods. All right. Capital deepening can offset the negative effects of a trade deficit by helping to generate economic growth, helping the country pay back the money it borrowed in the first place. So that money or the things that we traded for, if we use them correctly and they are used for capital deepening, that is going to make my business more productive and more profitable, meaning I have more money, and now it's going to be easier for me to pay back that loan, all right? To pay back the money that I owe them for trading with them overseas, all right? Now, trade explained. Trade can support economic growth by helping countries focus on producing what they are best at. All right, having either an absolute advantage or a comparative advantage, which we will go over, and trading it while buying other goods they cannot produce as easily. So, if I, right, can easily produce wood because my land has a whole bunch of trees, it would be smart for me to start giving out that wood, right? Now, if somebody else has a rice field and they produce rice really easy, it would be smart for us to trade wood for their rice, right? I can make the wood easy, he can make the rice easy, let's trade. Instead of him saying, hey, I need some wood, and go and plant some new trees and try to get his wood stock higher, and me trying to make a new rice field, how about I use his advantages and his strengths and borrow from him, and he uses my strength and my advantages and borrows from me, all right? That's smart. That's what we call trading. You guys do it all the time, all right? Trade that results in importing goods can provide an economy with resources it might not otherwise have, which helps the economy grow. Again, if another country can produce something not only more than me, but more efficiently than me, I might as well give them money and get it from them, right? And that's not saying that I can't do it myself, but that would be a waste of time, a waste of money, and a waste of research. If they could do it more efficiently, use them. If we could produce something more efficiently, they're gonna use us, right? And that's how it works. Foreign trade, domestic trade, all trade. If I could benefit off of borrowing it from you or trading something I already have for getting something from you, I'm gonna do that. Trade, all right? Exporting goods can enlarge a market for those goods, creating a stronger economy that is built on access to bigger markets. Again, if I'm producing something and I'm only selling it domestically, that's okay, right? I'm making good money. But imagine now if I turn into a global company and now I'm shipping overseas. Now that's going to increase the size of my market, and it's going to increase the size of my profits, all right? I just have to make sure that I'm hiring enough people to meet all those requirements, and I have enough capital to meet all those requirements, right? But trading is very important in normal life, in business life, always. If somebody could give you something more efficiently than you could supply for yourself, go ahead and see if you can work out a trade, all right? One real world example before we go. In the mid-1800s, the United States financed the building of a transcontinental railroad in part of borrowing from investors in other countries. All right, so we decided, man, that railroad would be so beneficial. How about we take technically a loan and borrow some money from people overseas in order to make this railroad? Because once the railroad is made, the money that we're going to make from it, we're going to be able to pay them back and be filthy rich, right? That was a smart tactic. That's smart trading right there. I'm going to trade with you guys and get the metal that I need, get the capital that I need from you, so that when I build my product, knowing that the residual money that I'm going to make from it is going to be way more than what I owe you, I'm going to make that trade. All right, but that was trading for economic growth. It's been fun. I hope you watch all 3 videos: productivity, technology, and trading, and then you'll be done. All right, it's been fun. It's Coach Watt. See you next time.